Hey guys, Dan991 here. Welcome back to episode 2 of my Besieged thing. Last episode we ended off here, and well, I came up with this design, and this actually works rather well. It's not perfect, but it does end up rather well. However, there are some other vehicles that I do want to show you first that I did kind of go ahead and test out. They didn't go too well. So with this game, if you use the wooden blocks, they actually get destroyed fairly easily. However, things like pistons, spinning blocks, all the mechanical stuff, I believe that they are completely invulnerable. They do not die. So I came up with something like this and thought, well, maybe this is going to work. Let's just turn it up to max speed, and yeah, as you can see, it just runs away from them. And oh my god, the lag's horrible. Yeah, it just runs away from them, and it doesn't go too well. They do try and stay away if they can. The only time it actually attacks them is when it jolts forward and actually hits them. So this design kinda didn't go too well. I mean, it was okay, but it just didn't feel good. So the other design that I came up with was I brought this forward, brought this down, and I tried to do something like those, and then I'll put some. I'm not going to do it all. I'll put some wheels on it at the front and back, roughly like that. And then I try to put the where is it? It's in that one. The spinning block at the front and the back, enough space apart to be able to put the metal blades. But as you can see, it's stuck to the wheel. So I thought, well, what if we put it up one more? No, one more, not two, and then put the spinning block on top of that, and then gone ahead and put those around there. Well, the problem with that is, as you can see, it just goes above their heads. It completely misses them, so it's kind of pointless. So that kind of didn't go too well. I think I'm killing more with the sheer like running into them more than anything else. So yeah, that really didn't go too well. So I eventually came up with this. Now, I've actually done this episode before, but it messed up, so yeah. Anyway, I came up with this, and this, it works. I mean, let's go ahead and show you. If you press Y, you turn on the flamethrowers, and you can just run and mow these all down. Now, the only problem with this is, well, this time we broke in half, but that's because I was being too aggressive. But the only problem is we just end up burning ourselves with the flamethrowers, which doesn't go too well. However, as you saw, we did actually complete the mission, which I was happy about. So yeah, that vehicle, it worked, but it barely worked. Anyway. This is the next level where we need to use a grabber and basically pick up these two ore blocks and put them in there. So I'm going to completely destroy that vehicle and we're going to start again. So I think what we're going to do is make a bit more of a simple base this time. This is probably probably one of the best ways to start a vehicle, just doing something like that. And then let's add some more on. Right, so we kind of need some wheels. I'm going to put a couple wheels on just because, well, you never know. And we need some way to pick those up. Now, at the moment, this doesn't look too great because this would be very, very easy to tip up. So, ooh, There we go, some adjustable weights. That might work pretty damn nicely. So I think we can use the key mapper. Yeah, if we use the key mapper, we can up the mass of these. So basically that's going to counterbalance. Although at this point it's just going to weigh a crap load. And as you can tell, just bring us down. So I think we're going to end up using those actually. I haven't saw those before. So that's quite useful. So at the back, we need our steering stuff. So the first thing is, as always, the steering hinge, and then block, and then some wheels. Like that. There we go, that's our little steering thing, and that should work rather nicely. No, the turning isn't great. Yeah, turning's not great. So I'm going to come up with something a little bit different then. I say a little bit different. It's basically the exact same. It's just more of them. So 2 steering hinges, 2 blocks, and 4 wheels on the back. Like that. Now, this should be a hell of a lot sturdier. I'm just going to put some braces because we don't have any wood there. So, oh yeah, look at that. We can basically just do a complete donut in this now. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. It's turning very, very nicely until you turn it too far. So we've got the turning sorted. We've got hopefully enough weight to counterbalance these things. I don't actually know how much they weigh. So we're going to need some sort of thing to grab these. Now we've got this grabber. It grabs anything it touches. So you just walk up to something with it. You don't have to tell it to grab it or anything. It'll just do it. And that one, as you can see, is kind of on the floor. So what we can do with that one is we can actually just go, say, there and there. We can just put some grabbers on. And that should be able to just walk over there, pick that up quite nicely, and we can put it in there. Now, that one is going to be a bit more difficult. So, we can use something called pistons, which will extend up. And maybe let's do it twice and then out once. So, basically, depending on the side that you put this on, that's the way it'll extend. So, if I put it on the floor there, that will extend up. If I put it on the side, it'll extend out, and these two are going to extend up and that one's going to extend out. And if we put some grabbers on the front of here, hopefully it's going to work. Now, before I actually go through with anything else, I'm going to get some braces, and I'm going to brace these up because you never know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, if I brace, say, this two over there, it's not going to work. It's really not going to work because it's just going to stop the piston from extending. So you want to be careful with your braces and not do it too much. But let's go ahead and try this out. So I think it's H for the pistons. Yep, there we go. So as you can see, that's roughly about the same height. Yeah, it looks about right. So we can go ahead and go over to this one. Let's get the hard one first. So drive up to it and boop, and we've got it. So let's just back up a little bit. Oh, the weight is kind of pushing us to breaking point here. It's very nearly breaking. Oh, I think it did just break by the sounds of it. So if we press V, we will actually release. Yeah, as you can see, and now I've just took my words off. So yeah, I think if we put more of no, let's get rid of those. Maybe if we just build a little house. well, not really a house, a little shell. Maybe that will be better. Because what I'm thinking is, obviously, this will even the weight out a little bit, make it distribute a bit better. So maybe that'll work. Well, only one thing to do, give it a try. So, boom, H, we've got it. We've pulled it down by accident. We don't want to do that, it'll probably break us. So, let's go and put this down. I'm going to keep it up actually, because that way it won't break. Right, V. There we go. One of our grabbers has fallen off, which I'm not sure why. It just decided it doesn't want to be there anymore, apparently. Nope, I'm out. See you in a bit. So we can actually now grab this with pretty much all of them. And if we press H, which is the piston button, as you can see, because all of these grabbers are connected, it's actually not letting the pistons extend. So you need to be careful with things like that, because it can destroy your stuff. So you should be a little bit careful with that. So let's go ahead and put this in the goal, and that'll be level complete. Yeah! So I'm actually quite happy with this little grabber machine thing. So I think I'm going to save that as Vic3 because it's easier to do. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that grabbing machine. Yeah. Right, anyway, so we've got a monolith, apparently. So let's just see what happens when we play. Okay, so it shoots us and it sets us on fire. So there's not really a lot we can do with that. And we've apparently grabbed a sheep. Oh no, we've squished a sheep now. And we're just dancing away. Whee! So, as our little creation goes insane over here, I'm going to say goodbye. And it looks like he's trying to run away. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So, I want to say thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Whee!